This is going to be a fun one. I am going to try to determine who in the National Hockey League would make the best partner to be in the trenches. I'm going to use their stats. I'm going to be using their known personality traits, their quirks. Yeah, I don't know how this idea came about. It's almost as if there's been some sort of a constant drone of information pounded into my head day after day, relentlessly propagating the idea of a global mass event of
fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Hey, did you see that Trevor Zegras got traded to Philadelphia? That's a relief. Maybe now we can stop talking about Zegras trade rumors and focus on talking incessantly about McDavid trade rumors instead.
Zito called and said, we want McDavid. You tell me what it's going to take.
But enough about Trevor Zegras, enough about McDavid. Who would make the best soldier? Let's talk about it.
He sends it in, just missed hitting the chicken.
I could have done a video about something more relevant to, the hockey world currently. I could have done a video about news, about the trades recently, about contract signings. But I think I'm still like a little bit exhausted from the 25-minute long video that I did last time. So let's do something a little fun. Before we get into the video, today's sponsor is...
Get ready to raid.
No one. I didn't accept any sponsorships yet. Been getting a couple not very interesting sponsorships. So I rely a lot on you, the viewer. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. We're so close to 15,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. It really, honestly, means the world to me. If you're already subscribed, don't worry about it. Hit the like button. It helps me out with algorithm-y stuff. So for the sake of conversation here, to keep this video kind of brisk and shorter, I'm only going to consider captains in the NHL. And it makes sense that the captain would be the best soldier to be by your side in the trenches in modern combat. They're supposed to exhibit leadership skills. They're supposed to be reliable. So I'll take those things into consideration, but I'll also think about shot percentage. You want someone that wouldn't waste ammo, right? Precision under pressure. How about block shots? Willing to put your body on the line. I think that's the mark of a true soldier. Penalty minutes. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? There's stupid penalties and there's good penalties. I'll have to think about that one. Face-off win percentages. I think that speaks to their preparedness and reaction time. Games played. Are they an Iron Man? Definitely somebody that you would want on the team. So let's hop right in. And before I even thought about this subject or even thought about how I was going to compile this list, I made a tier ranking list of the 24-25 captains. And this is completely arbitrary. I'm not married to this list. There's some definite bias here, but it helped me decide who I wanted to talk about. And I think a good place to start is with the Penguins and Sidney Crosby.
Sid's the absolute man. Like, you hear all these stories when you play against him, like, oh, he's super nice. He's like very genuine. He's nice to everyone. He's like the ultimate professional. I think he might be mad at me for saying this, but he's like knows a bunch about birds. So like we'll be like driving on the bus and he'll see a bird and he'll tell me exactly what type of bird it is.
Come on.
Crosby has a reputation to uphold. A lot of guys will joke around, get kind of crusty, but Crosby, he lives the captain lifestyle. He started the Sidney Crosby Foundation aimed at improving the lives of individuals and communities in need. He does community events. He donates money to charity. While there are other players in the NHL that exhibit some of those same qualities, I don't think that anybody does it quite like Crosby does it. That being said, you can't always be a gentleman in war. So what kind of shot percentage does Crosby have? His career shot percentage is 14.5%. Not bad, especially considering he's taken over 4,200 shots. He's missed about 288 games in his illustrious 20-year career, which works out to be like 17% of games missed. Yeah, if you could remember, there was a few seasons where he dealt with injuries. Crosby does great in the faceoff circle as well, boasting a 52.6% faceoff percentage. So I definitely feel like he would be a captain that would find the advantage and then shoot first. Dude has a lot of accolades as well. 3 Stanley Cups, 2 Art Ross, 2 Conn Smythe, 2 Harts, 2 Rockets, and 3 Lindsays. I'm picturing Crosby as a soldier decorated with all these medals, right? So for all those reasons, I'm going to have to give Sidney Crosby an 87 out of 100. Let's see if the other two captains can beat 87.
He's taken 26 now. Here's a lead pass. Quinn Hughes to win the game. Scores!
Quinn Hughes, yeah, I kind of even surprised myself with this pick. But the thing is, for this little experiment that I'm doing, you know what? I like Quinn Hughes' leadership style. This past season, what he had to deal with between JT Miller and Pettersson.
I get, upset with Millsy. There's times I get upset with Petey. There's times I get upset with Hronek. And that doesn't mean that I don't love those guys and vice versa. And, I'm going to make some bad plays. They're going to make a play where I wish, they saw me here or saw me there. And over the course of playing together for 6 years, I think that those things are normal and they're going to happen.
I think that would suit a soldier really well in war, trying to keep your guys together. The way that he faced the public with that stuff, I thought it was very honorable. And then secondly, he's a defenseman, but he's the captain of the team and often looked at as the second best defenseman in the league, at least in terms of overall skill, the two-way game. Way off topic, but they've got to introduce some sort of an award complimentary to the Norris Trophy for defensemen who play defensive hockey. And I think Slavin should get it like posthumously this season. Quinn Hughes is also a player that I can use the penalty minutes stat. The way he is able to avoid taking penalties while being put in panic situations on the defense, I think that's very commendable as well. His shot percentage is 6.4%. Not fantastic for a defenseman, but not like awful either. He's taken 925 shots in his entire career. I'm only now realizing that that's probably like the key difference between him and Makar, where Makar has like an insane shot percentage. I think it's like 10.4. Like that's bonkers for a defenseman right now. Obviously, he doesn't take face-offs, but you know what? Hughes battles. He's a tough soldier. Played a lot of this season injured, trying to keep his team in the mix. But just with everything that happened this season for Vancouver, it wasn't going to happen. So he is reliable. The other quality that I think he has above his two opponents, it looks like he doesn't sleep. That's really going to give you the edge in war. Like he doesn't have to take any experimental drugs to keep him awake or anything like that. And with that skill, I'm going to put Quinn Hughes at 85 out of 100. Next, I had to do it. I want to talk about my Captain Nick Suzuki of the Montreal Canadiens. Suzuki had a big season this season. Lane Hudson gets a lot of credit for helping the Canadiens reach the playoffs this season. And no doubt he was like instrumental in helping the team do that. But with 89 points and how many game-winning goals? I just looked it up. I didn't even know this. 9 game-winning goals. That's nuts. I think that Scheifele and Draisaitl had 11 game-winning goals, and they led the league. So pretty bonkers stat. He also ties Crosby with a 14.5 shot percentage, but boasted a 17.4 shot percentage this season. I think Crosby had one season where he bested that at 19.9%, which is incredible to think about. But that brings up a good point. Crosby has a lot more runway, more stats to look at. Suzuki is 25 years old. I know that the league understands, and I know that the fans understand that Suzuki's still a very young captain, but I don't know if everybody understands that he is only 25 years old. He's not 27, he's not 28. He's only 25 years old. He's got a very calm temperament. His passion for the game is insane, but he has a way of pulling things back and putting them back into his grasp. And that's why we saw so many games this season for the Habs turn into comeback victories. He was often the guy to get it done and to turn the momentum of the game. I think that would serve him and his squad really well in a time of war. But I think most notable and most impressive is Nick Suzuki's current Ironman streak. Brent Burns is leading the league in active Ironman streaks. Goes back to 2013, and it's currently at 925 consecutive games. Phil Kessel is the all-time leader at 1,064. I think Brent Burns is turning 40 this year, or has already turned 40. I don't know what he plays until he's 42 years old. He could beat Phil Kessel's streak. He looks great out there still. He's a very desirable defenseman. And then Ryan Suter also has an active Ironman streak, 535 games. But guess what? Who is right behind Ryan Suter? Nick Suzuki, 455 straight games. He's dependable. He plays through injuries, leads by example. That is why I am giving Captain Nick an 87.5 out of 100. This was all just for fun. You know, there are so many great captains in this league, so many great teams. Doing a fun video like this, it's getting me so excited for next season. It's getting me excited for draft. Like I can't wait to see who New York is going to draft first overall. And New York fans, but your team has not been interesting to watch for a very long time. Matthew Schaefer, is it going to be Matthew Schaefer? For some reason, I almost want to think they're going to pull a fast one and take Michael Misa, which is kind of great for the Sharks because I think that Matthew Schaefer would be an excellent fit on the Sharks right now. Oh, it's bonkers, man. Gosh, I love hockey. Can't believe we have to keep waiting. Like, what is it, 100 and something days? Oh, man. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you again so much for your support. I really have been liking the comments. You guys say such nice things. I can't believe the community I have on an online forum where, you know, oftentimes it's very toxic in the comments. And it was very toxic when the Panthers fans were in there, but that's what they do. It's just kind of a fun thing that they have about them. So you know what to do. Like the video. It helps me out with search results or something. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.